What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Football Capital, and yes, we are back for another Premier League review show. I am joined with Rami. I do have the rest of the boys backstage that will be joining us shortly. Rami, game week 3, brother. Another cracker Premier League weekend. It feels like it's getting better and better every week. I know there was a bit of a kickstart with a few, just a certain transfer we won't mention. You know what I mean? Just a small, nothing big. Yeah. No, I don't got him up today. But yeah, you definitely got the memo again with the background. But yeah, look, guys, we're just gonna touch on some of the main games this week. Obviously, we had City versus Arsenal. We had which is probably the match of the round in Liverpool and Chelsea, 2 big title contenders there. And then we'll just touch on our boys with Wolves and Man United there. So we'll get cracking. We'll get started, guys. I'll get Kev. Kev will jump in, and we'll get Zaya. Zaya was on our Instagram live before the Arsenal game and at halftime as well. He wasn't a happy customer, let's just say that. But we'll get straight into it, boys. 5-0 there. They put 5 past them. 2 weeks in a row, City have put 5 past a team. Both of them who now sit bottom of the table in Norwich and Arsenal. But look, to be fair, guys, I know we had the discussion on the Insta Live. I looked at that City lineup and I thought there's a good chance Arsenal can get a result out of this. And I was very, very wrong on that one. Zaya, first of all, welcome to the show, brother. It's good to have you on. I know it's the circumstances for you at the moment is not the best, but what can you do? Look, man.
I appreciate it, boys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, especially to Kevin, Rami, and all of you guys. I appreciate it. It's something good to do during the lockdown. Have some vibes, excellent vibes. So I'm very happy. Thank you. Appreciate it.
At least you're happy about something. Yeah. At least we can put you a smile on your face when Arsenal don't. But bro, talk to me, bro. Talk to me. What going into this game? Did you feel confident? Did you feel like? Especially looking up that City lineup. I know maybe everyone's different. I just thought Arsenal could, especially losing their first 2 games, you thought maybe this is the one where Arteta gets another one over Pep. Unfortunately, didn't happen, man. Talk to me.
First things first, thank you very much again. Look, honestly, I wasn't confident at all. I was absolutely devastated seeing that lineup. I did not like the 5 at the back. I've never seen Arsenal play 5 at the back. I didn't like it at all. First things first, it's the trust in the process is not a great thing. I don't like it at all. In thoughts of the game of Man City and Arsenal, it was very devastating to see. Every goal was devastating. I'm just heartbroken, honestly. Like it's enough is enough. Something has to be done to bring a Arsenal where usually goes to top 4. A Arsenal where we were competitors with Manchester United. If you go in the early 2000s and the late 90s, I want to see that Arsenal. I don't want to see a Arsenal that is being like trolled all around the area, around the world, on internet. I just want to see desire, and I don't see that anymore. And at the Man City game, it's probably the worst game I've ever seen in my life, maybe since the 8-2 against Man United, honestly.
Yeah, and that was actually 10 years ago to the day as well.
Yeah, that was. But what makes you say it's your worst performance since then? Obviously, the scoreline doesn't necessarily mean that. But what makes you say that? What makes you kind of feel like this is the worst performance since the 8-2 loss to United?
A good question, Rami. Look, honestly, like no desire at all of the players. And Xhaka, first of all, I don't know what he's doing. He's probably lost the plot. As I'm saying, there's no desire. You bring a player back where this guy was getting sent off, booed by fans, walking off, taking his shirt off after a dramatic game. And then he comes back and just does this stupid stuff in regards to slide tackling with studs off and just getting a red card and doesn't care. It looks like the players don't care anymore. And I haven't seen this with Unai Emery, to be honest. Unai Emery, with the players that were playing with Unai Emery, I've seen desire and I've seen potential in the players, but eventually once a player gives up such like Ozil and etc., the players start to give up too. And once they see a loss and the 2 losses, say for example, the team just shuts down straight away. So I think for the past 10 years, this is the worst ever squad I've ever seen by Arsenal, by far, 100% by far. And yeah, there's no desire.
I honestly think this squad is worse than the team 10 years ago, to be honest. At least you had players that wanted to play. The obvious thing was you guys had so many players out, to your defense. Arsenal did have quite a large number of their key players that were out. But there's not a single player I'd look at in the team. Maybe Saka, maybe Pepe, Aubameyang, maybe that you would kind of say Arsenal could sell for big dollars right now. You guys don't have that player at the moment. You guys don't have the team like you mentioned. And it's sad to see, man. As much as Arsenal's a rival fan of a rival club of United, we hate seeing a club like Arsenal decline so much, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm talking about Kev. He's smiling. But
of course, it goes the same thing. Like when I seen Sir Alex Ferguson leave the club, in 2012, last 2012 when they had that season, they won the Premier League. Ever since then, it was for me to see that is like emotional, because the rivalry between him and Arsene Wenger was so motivational for us fans too. Like it's bad to see it, but it's I can't Arsenal is shambles at the moment, man. Like pain, I don't know what to say anymore. Like,
where do you start with the problems? Where do you start? It's so hard.
I've had enough. I've had enough of hearing trust the process. I've had enough of seeing players going out and saying we have the desire to win games. Where's the performance? 100%. There's no performance being made by the players. As I said on Saturday, they're not playing for the badge. They're playing for the name. They're paying for what they get weekly wages. And especially like today, hearing the news of Willian, 2-0 victory. He's locking the post of Chelsea. And then the next week later, he just goes and gets a pay cut. Was a 70% pay cut, and he moves. Yeah. It's these types of players, man. I don't know, to be honest.
Kev, I know you want to smile, man. You got a big smile on your face. You wanted to say in the first episode where we gave our predictions that these guys were going to get relegated. You were so spot on with that, because at the moment, dead last,
that's why
rock bottom. Shout out Dwayne Johnson, rock bottom in the league there. How you feeling, bro? How you told me your point of views, especially on this game too, bro. You called it. You said it's going to be 4 or 5 goals plus. And it was exactly that. What went wrong for Arsenal in this game? Is it more than just the players are not good enough? Is it more than just Arteta and maybe he's not good enough for the job? Or is it bigger problems in the board and maybe the ownership that needs to be changed before even the Arsenal can get to where they ever were?
Yeah, Borch, man, look, Rami, I was smiling earlier because, as a rival fan, you love to see, the opposition in pain, but at the same time, as a football fan, you want to enjoy football. So I don't like wishing those kind of results on anybody, and especially, fans like Zaya who pour their heart into the,
besides Liverpool
in the club, besides Liverpool and City. So from my perspective, to lightly touch on the club, I think it just goes to show what an amazing job Wenger did in his time to manage the team, to manage the players, to leave that legacy for them. But since then, whoever they've put in charge has not done the job, right? And you look at the weekend's game, on paper, the game was over. There was nothing, for me anyway. I looked at it as a master versus apprentice from a Guardiola and Arteta perspective, where Arteta probably thought, you know what, I sort of know how Pep's going to set up, and I know what he's going to try and do. But regardless of whether it was Arteta, regardless of who he was going to put out on the pitch, City was always going to be strong. But they got it totally wrong. If you've got players like Gundogan and Torres winning headers against 6-foot+ defenders, there's big problems in terms of what Zay is saying around they're not playing for the badge, right? And you can argue sometimes you get lucky, right? Like last night, in the United game, there was a specific moment during the game where we lost a header inside the 6 yards. That's not about not playing for the badge. That it happens from time to time. But the way City's, set up, the way City were relentless in the repetitive nature and how they attacked Arsenal, and Arsenal did not react, it just showed the difference in caliber in terms of the players, the gameplay, and the plan. And I agree with Zaya. Like at some point, you got to say, screw the process. It's got to be something new. Something has to change. I don't know where it's going to change because my personal opinion is that club's a mess at the moment. I actually called Arteta will be the first manager sacked in our preview of the season. I did say that he was going to get sacked first, and not because he's a bad manager, but I just don't think this is a task that's set out for him. This is a task set out for a much more experienced person.
I think if anyone was in the Arsenal job, you would have picked them to be the first manager sacked because that job, who wants that job at the moment? It's an absolute nightmare of a role.
Yeah,
it's a big job, but it takes a big manager, right? It's going to take a big name manager to fix it. It's sort of like what Tuchel done to Chelsea, and then you guys are going to touch on that game soon. The way he reacted in that game, that's the kind of caliber of person that Arsenal need right now to be able to Conte in, whoever, right?
Let's just before.
I agree.
Yeah, but look, we've done. Zay, I'll throw this over to you. We've seen, all right, let's just say since Wenger retired, even in his time, I know he won the FA Cup just before, a year before he moved on. But since then, right, you look at the people in the board, they've changed. You look at the managers, they've changed them twice since Wenger, or twice? Yes, 3 times, twice.
In Emery, Arteta,
yeah, that's right, twice. Players have changed since Arsene Wenger. The only people that haven't changed are the owners. And we've seen, and we spoke about this on the live as well, where we've seen the money that they're pumping into the NFL team. But when it comes to Arsenal, you're getting rid of your big players. This whole, we're selling players to pay off the stadium was done 10 years ago, right? So they promised you we're going to move to the Emirates to challenge for European competitions, to win more titles. Since the Invincibles, I know Arsenal fans will try to claim they won a gold trophy, where the trophy was this big, and it was actually a proper one that you guys won, But since then, you haven't won a Premier League title. But all these changes have come in place. Is it the owners, and is it that the players, like you said, regardless of trust the process? I think that's something that the fans keep saying, but I don't think not even whoever comes in believes in anything at the club at the moment. So do you think is the bigger problem the owners? Because at the moment, Conte is not fixing this. He's not a manager that rebuilds. You're Tuchel, a good point by Kev, but Tuchel at Dortmund, he couldn't. He was struggling to rebuild. I know the powerhouse in Bayern Munich, but in the Premier League, but you need someone. You need an actual manager that's there, that's ready to rebuild, not necessarily to win you titles, which I think is what we're doing with Oli. I don't think he's a necessary manager that's going to win us trophies, but look at the rebuild that Oli has done because he understands the club and he's been part of the history of the club as well. So the rebuilding process at United, if you want to say trust the process, I can say it. Maybe not every fan can. I know there's issues of his like how he manages during the games and all that, but just in terms of getting United, like if you look at our lineup last night and bringing on someone like Ronaldo in the mix as well, now we're looking like a serious team. Where a couple of seasons ago we had donkeys trying to kick a ball. But what do you think?
Where do you start with Arsenal? Where do you start though?
That's the thing. Is it something that, all right, if the owners change, you get someone that's dead set serious about only Arsenal, not worried about selling my players and getting champions top 4 positions because it's going to feed my NFL team? Do you think that it's the owners or Obviously, we know there's bigger problems, but are they the main issue?
Good question. I do believe it's the main issue, and it's been the main issue for a long, long time at Arsenal. First of all, I'll say with Edu. Okay, he's in Spain in a jet ski while they're trying to negotiate with Ben White. Like, come on, are you serious? It has to be the board, and I guarantee it's the board. Like, it as like they say, it's time to go. Like, you need a change. Like, the board has to think about, you know what? Look, it's dramatic. Everything's happening. Someone should just come out there and just give us a bid and just take over and just start a new challenge, because I know that if any coach comes, it's not going to make a difference. I'll be honest with you. It's not going to make a difference at all.
Yeah, 100. I agree with that, man. I just don't think, unless there's a manager that comes in and is ready to rebuild, not focusing on trophies. Don't worry about where you finish in the league table for the next, that season that he's there for. It was very, very similar to Lampard when he came in Chelsea, where no transfer window, zero pressure on him to make any sort of Champions League, Europa League spots. So he did play with the young players, and it kind of worked out. He got fourth position, I think, on the last day or something. But yeah, man.
Maybe a club legend. Maybe a club legend's needed with some passion in the club. We'll see how Vieira goes this season. You never know. He could become.
Yeah, we'll see how Vieira goes. He's actually done very good against Crystal Palace. He's done very good.
Yeah, yes. Look, you never know. You never know what the solution is. It's very hard to say. Everyone has opinions. And it's unfortunate. It's Arsenal that's kind of copping it at the moment. But
yeah. But on the flip side, look, like to touch really before we wrap it up for this match, to touch base on the other side. Everyone spoke about, Man City needs to sign a striker, Harry Kane, and all these players are in. Ronaldo almost went there last second. But from the looks of things, it doesn't necessarily look like they need someone. I think they look the goods. Do you boys think that this Man City squad can win the league? That's the big question. Zaya, what do you reckon?
Definitely yes. I think they can win it. They can win it with Gabriel Jesus. They can certainly win it. From the first game I've seen against Tottenham, it felt like they needed someone. But ever since against Norwich and then just coming to us and just banging us with the 5 goals, absolutely no striker needed. They got Gabriel Jesus with the support of Sterling, Grealish.
And obviously Ferran Torres grabbed the double as well.
Ferran Torres, man. I think potentially they have a big chance of winning it.
Why do you think it didn't work against Spurs, but it worked against Norwich and Arsenal? With no striker. This is to everyone as well, yeah? Because you're saying no striker, but against Spurs they didn't have a striker and it didn't work out.
I think Spurs they've shown defensively they're going to be strong.
But when they come up against other teams,
3-1-0 wins.
When they come up
3-1-0 wins, yeah, you never know, right? You never know. But I just think they're a different beast. Spurs in terms of, look, Arsenal, even with 5 at the back, I don't think they knew what they were doing. And that's no disrespect to the Arsenal.
When the hell have they ever played 5 at the back?
Yeah, you just don't know.
Never.
Right? And you're like, so it's something foreign to them. But where Spurs, they know their system, they know how they're going to play.
And also, in saying that, Kev, obviously you wouldn't say this in most seasons, but Tottenham are worlds apart from Arsenal and Norwich at the moment.
Right now.
So that's what I'm saying to you, bro. That's what I'm saying.
And let's say once Man City start versing Chelsea and Man United and Liverpool and West Ham and Everton.
Even Wolves, I know they've lost 3 games in a row, only 1-0, but they were defensively very good in all 3 games. It was just unlucky that they copped I know the first game against Leicester, they copped the screamer by Vardy last week as well for Son, and now this week again. But I just think they might need a number 9 that's really going to bang in the goals. But boys, we'll wrap it up there on this game against City and Arsenal. Zaya, brother, thank you for jumping on. We'll definitely have you on soon. Hopefully you get your 3 points against Norwich in the next one, a big 6-pointer there for you, that relegation battle.
Hopefully.
At least you're not going to lose this week. At least you're not losing this week.
We need to, 100%, we need to see goals. We've got, I'm telling you, we've had a record now, 9 goals conceded in 3 matches. It's the first ever time to happen to any English Premier League team that's on now. So we need to fix some stuff up for Norwich.
And what's your goal of the month?
The goal, Ferran Torres.
Thanks again.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
being
again,
here, man.
bro.
Really
All right.
appreciate you jumping on.
Thanks, boys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Show
Take
some
care.
love, man. Thank you so much. We'll
you.
maybe see you on towards the end of the episode. If not, we'll see you on another episode, man. Thank you so much.
No.
Oh, there you go. All right.
He chucked the 30 on us.
I'll get in Seba here just quickly. Seba, before we move on to the Liverpool and Chelsea game, quick thoughts on the Arsenal, man. Arsenal City, more so on the City point of view. Do you agree with most of the things that Rami just said there about them not having a number 9 and Jesus and Torres can be the guys going forward? Is he on mute?
He's on mute.
You're on mute.
We've lost him.
Yeah, you're still on mute. You're still on mute.
Here we go.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
There we go.
Technical difficulties.
That's it.
Look, Ferran Torres is looking like a quality striker, bro. And like, already in 3 weeks that we've evolved our opinions on the club, and there's a long time to go, and they're going to keep improving, keep getting goals. And Jesus, he's playing. I think he's playing all right so far. Like, he's coming out wide a lot, coming back. They're mixing up. They're adapting to the loss of a striker, even though they already kind of went through it last season. And look, man, 10 goals in 2 games. I know they lost the first game, but they're on the up, and they're definitely someone to be feared of, regardless of a new signing or not.
Fantastic. Kev, anything to add? Final thoughts on more so on the City squad there?
Look, I sort of called it before the game, but I just think they're going to be ruthless, especially at home. And the stats showed it. A couple of the stats we didn't talk about was possession, 91% in the second half.
6%.
If you can't get the ball, then forget about it. It's game over. But look, I sort of expected it, and I just look at Arsenal as a deflated club at the moment. But they've got a long time to turn around. Still early days.
Terrible, man, terrible. And you know what? To add to those stats, Kev, 25 shots to Arsenal's 1. 25 shots to Arsenal's 1. And like you said, man, like 19% possession in the whole match. 19% possession in the whole match.
Rami,
Arsenal.
do you know that
a team that used to love?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. But was there one shot, the one where Edison almost fucked it up and Emil Smith-Rowe stuck a leg out? That was their shot on target. So
that was their shot on target.
Not on target, correct. Off target, but they only shot
off target.
On goal.
Scary.
How bad is that? To add to that, 757 passes from Man City, 185 from Arsenal.
That's what I said.
And Arsenal were the team that were about passing.
Look, this is what I said. Yeah, before we move on to the Liverpool game and get Damien and Ferdi on. That's what I said at the start of the season. If they don't have a number 9, they're gonna just pass you to death. And we've seen it in this game. I just think when they verse some of the teams that were a bit more defensive structure, some of them goals that they scored against Arsenal, even Norwich, I don't think other teams are conceding. At the end of the day, they got their 3 points. They bounced back 2 in a row after their first defeat. So they're on 6 points. Manchester City. Kev,
they didn't get Ronaldo.
I'll remove you for now, brother. I'll bring you back shortly, yeah? Get your Ollie out notes ready. And we'll see you soon. Seba, I'll see you soon as well. Let's get the boys on. Ferdi, while he's fixing up his camera there. Boys, Liverpool and Chelsea, 1-1 draw there at Anfield. How'd you guys see this game pan out? It was a great first half from what we said.
Yeah.
Damo, over to you. We'll go over to you first. I mean, great first half. I know it did end up in a draw. Maybe not the result that you guys wanted, or maybe could have got more out of the game. But for you, how'd you see this one?
Yeah, first half of football was unbelievable. Some of the best football and tempo I've seen in a long time from any team. Liverpool and Chelsea, they were sharp. Your first touch had to be correct, otherwise you're getting hammered from behind. Not too many clear chances. But there was just so much energy on the pitch, like there was just no room for error. It was good. There, you could see the way that it was going. It was going to happen from set pieces and whatnot. But once, obviously, halftime happened, I think the red card, which I'm sure we'll touch on a little bit more, I think that was probably the worst thing that could have happened for us.
Yeah, with Chelsea's goal, personally, I really don't like zonal marking. To be honest, I understand if you're going to be zonal marking in the 6-yard box, but in the 18-yard box, I think you got to collect. Like someone's got to start picking up some of them players, because I think once that ball got whipped in, who was behind Havertz? I can't remember, but whoever was there, even if Havertz missed it, if that Azpilicueta made that run to the back post, so if that header was going wide, Azpilicueta gets a tap in the back post. I just don't get why. I don't know. I just the way I see it, bro. I've seen a lot of goals, especially last season, concede because teams are not front post, back post. I know it's Sunday League stuff. They would say pick up front post, pick up back post, but it's like, could that goal have been maybe avoided if we just stay tight to your players? Or do you think the zonal marking thing kind of works? Damo, I'll go over to you.
Fetty, what do you recommend?
I get what Bosch is saying. I do agree with it to a certain extent, but I think that takes away when you're man marking as well from what we try to do in the back. Their goal, by the way, was quality goal. The finish was a quality finish as well. If you're asking the question, could it have been avoided? Absolutely. But I guess it's just one of those moments that, we weren't ready for. And may I say, man, Chelsea, like we always knew, like I think we were talking about it before the match, Chelsea, this is the best Chelsea team that's coming to Anfield in a very, very long time. It's the best Chelsea team in general. And with Lukaku up the front, what a disciplined team, especially when they went down to 10 men. And I agree with Damo. I think James getting sent off, like when I first saw it, I thought it was a bit unfair. But when you take another look at it, obviously, like there is obstruction there. He does move his arm. It is absolutely harsh. And I think it was worse for us for that player to go off, for James to go off. I think if he stayed on, it would have been a much better game. I think the Chelsea coach was saying that after the match as well, saying that ruined the game. I agree as well. For us,
the first half, the first half was one of the best halves of football I've seen in a while, man. Yeah. So absolutely, I agree with you for sure.
But Rams, what do you think about the corners, Rami? Just quickly, the whole corner thing, because we don't just see it in like this game. We've seen it even with Man United. This zonal marking is there something that it works? I mean, like
I personally think it should be as simple as pick up the opposition shirt. That's my opinion.
And one front post, one back post. I mean,
one front post, one back post. I've got their number 9. You got their number 10. You got their number 7. We marked them 1 for 1. How are they going to score? You have your defensive mid screening, running players, running into to hit the ball in the box, and I think that does the job. In saying that, though, give Havertz that header another 5 times in a row. He's not scoring it. It was in the moment. He happened to hit it perfectly.
Yeah, but Rams,
happened to get it back in the net.
But if someone like you said was man marking him from before the kick, he probably doesn't even get to the ball.
He's one of the shorter players in the field. Of course not.
Like even just when staying, let's just say for example, argument's sake, Gomez or Van Dijk or whoever was playing or Matip or whoever was there, picks him up and holds his run so he doesn't get to the ball. He doesn't get that header on. So I don't know, man. No. It's an interesting one. I'm not. I can't wrap my head around.
But keep in mind, Borja, keep in mind, like you and Rami coach as well. I think there's a plan for every team you verse as well in the Premier League, and none of us are expecting, or no one else is expecting.
Definitely, bro. Definitely, I get that, but I just see it not just in this game, bro. I see it United cop goals because
United.
It's a simple fact.
Like a new phase
the simple fact because there's not a player on the post to clear it. It always goes that side netting off the post and in because there's no one there. That's I don't know. It's probably I'm reading too much into it, but I just see it way too many times. But look, in saying that, boys, we'll get onto the Salah penalty. Obviously, before that, Liverpool hit the bar. It wasn't going in for him. A few great saves. It was a mess. Yeah, it was. In the box, they ping pong in there. But look, handball. Definitely a handball, definitely a penalty. But do you think the red card was a bit harsh? Because with the new rules, we've got to remember, speaking of the new rules that have come in, if it comes off any part of your body and hits the arm, I think there should be a bit of leeway there. I know he stopped the goal scoring opportunity, but I don't think, watching it back just before, I don't think he really swung his arm out as he lifted up his knee to save it. It's a natural movement of your body for your arm to be in that position. I'm not saying it's not a pen. It's definitely a pen. But just that maybe give it the yellow instead of the red. It wasn't like a blatant like Luis Suarez handball like in the World Cup or something. But
they've always had that rule that if you stop the ball with your hand from going in the goals, it's a red. I know they changed the rules, but I do believe that he must have just seen it as that was going in. Why'd you handball it for? Get off. Here's your penalty. and it was a bit of both. It was a double-edged sword, which is a bit harsh, for sure. But funny enough as well, Tuchel even said what annoyed him was when they were looking at the footage at the match, he was pissed off because they were looking at a picture, not the video.
It was a still.
And he goes, when you look at a picture, obviously his hand's like this. It looks bad. You know how it is when you stop a video and you can make the world look like it's ending. You know what I mean? But he was pretty annoyed that they stopped the picture and they kind of paused it on there. And he thinks that if they look at the video properly, it wouldn't have been given. But it is what it is. It happened. And
it's one of them. So what do you reckon, boys? Definitely red card, even though it was harsh, or you think a yellow just because the new rules, circumstances, and all that? What are your thoughts?
I think, listen, when I first saw it and he gave the red, I was like, what the hell? Like that's very, very harsh, and it is a harsh call. But when you watch it over again, and I think Rami touched on it as well. Yeah, the picture thing is absolutely stupid, but naturally, he moved his hand to block it, which is a natural movement. And
your brain sends signals.
Yeah, we would all do the same thing. You know what I mean? If we're gonna look at the rule book strictly, it's a handball and it's a red card. And I think it's more of a red card because it's in the box, it's blocking an actual goal. If that happened outside the box, I reckon he'll get the yellow. It sounds stupid. It's ridiculous, but it definitely is a red card, but it's an absolutely 100% harsh as hell. And like I said, it ruined the game. It absolutely ruined the game for me.
Damo, what do you reckon?
Yeah, agreed, man. It's very harsh. I mean, when you're watching the game live there, we're all screaming at the TV and whatnot, saying, did it go over the line? I don't even think handball even crossed our mind until we saw Van Dijk and whatnot appealing, right? And of course, everything looks heaps worse in slow motion. And when they go through just a still frame, it looks evident, right? I guess the rules say it's a red, right? He's stopping a clear goal scoring opportunity. I personally think if that was anywhere else on the pitch, they just give a yellow straight away, no questions asked. But because it happened and the ball was going to cross the line, I think that's probably the reason why they gave the red. But it's still
it was a guaranteed goal. It was a guaranteed goal. That's outside the box.
Yeah, I get the rule.
Guaranteed outside the box.
Yeah, the rule does state if you're blocking a goal scoring opportunity, but it came off his knee first or thigh first, which now the rules say if it comes off the thigh or any part of the body before it hits their hand, they're gonna look at it as unintentional. So it's a good debate to have. But I mean, if it happened in reverse, if Liverpool got that red card, I think we'll probably be having a different conversation. Or even if United copped something like that, or even if the other team, we just say for example, if we got a penalty against Wolves and that happened, I would love to see him get sent off. But you guys are right. It did make it a little bit difficult then because defensively we know how Tuchel likes to set up and. Especially with 10 men.
Hey, that was unbelievable to watch as well. Just beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get over it. I honestly couldn't get over how well they played with 10 men, and the discipline and the structure on the field was unbelievable.
You're looking at Fanny. You're looking at the two best. To me, I reckon that right now I'll take them both over Pep. To be honest with you, I think the two best managers in the league, and don't forget the last 2 years Champions League winners. So this very much was a world class fixture. It was the best of the best in the Premier League, or two of the best, obviously. But a very big topic for me that I was discussing, we're talking about it with Damo in the group chat. Elliot, I'm really impressed with this youngster that you have in the midfield, Elliot. Honestly, I'm really, really impressed by him. What are your thoughts with him? Do you think he's a big future for the club? Do you think he should be a constant starter? They should ignore getting a midfielder? What's your opinions around that, Damo?
I think, pretty decent performance considering it's his second game in the league against the European champions, right? You can't take that away from him. Yes, it was only 45 minutes and the second half things changed. But I still think, we need a midfielder, right? I'm sure every Liverpool fan can say you don't want him starting all 38 games of the league or Champions League and whatnot. But he did show that he can do a job against the big team. So if injuries happen or we need to change something, no worries. I'm confident. Chuck him in and it looks like he can do the job.
He looks very solid. Ferdy, what do you reckon?
All right, so I had not a problem, but I had two things. I was a bit confused about the team lineup. So I saw Firmino came in, which I thought would come on. I thought he'd score the winner. I don't know why Firmino would start with Jota scoring the first two goals. I think he's on fire. I thought he would have started. And I was pretty surprised that Elliot started over Naby. Like Naby started the first two games as well. I thought he did well. And you're right, Rami. Elliot, he's an awesome prospect. I reckon it's going to be a great start for Liverpool as well. But why are we starting? That just shows that we need transfers. Why are we starting a junior? And like you guys boys just said, the last 2 years Champions League in a big match. If you want that Premier League that we were discussing last week, every match is a must win. Why are we starting a junior? Even though he did very, very well. Why are we starting?
Yeah, I don't know. Rami rates him now. Last week he was calling him. He wasn't sure why is he starting these kind of players.
Billy Elliott.
Billy Elliott, bro. Billy Elliott.
Billy Elliott's from Everton, bro.
I think on another point, sorry, just before we maybe change games or whatnot, I think it was a good one for the rest of the league watching because
shows the standard.
Maybe
yeah,
it's, I'm
shows
right
the
or wrong,
standard.
but Lukaku, I'm saying he was exposed. There was big hype around him. At the end of the day, I guess Van Dijk and Matip played well to keep him out of the game, but it shows the other centre-backs in the league what can be done, and I guess not to fear him. I feel like every team kind of feared him because of his record in the Serie A and coming back looking so fit and in good condition. Yes, he's going to score plenty of goals, but I think it's just another number 9 at the end of the day, right?
I kind of disagree. I kind of disagree on that. I think, especially in the second half, when you went down to 10 men, you could see Lukaku was coming in way too deep at times as well. So I think, look at I know I wouldn't say they did a job on him. I don't think Lukaku maybe had the ball enough to maybe run at him, or he never received the ball back towards goal where he could he can turn a play or maybe even play the 1-2, lay it off. I think that red card kind of maybe hindered his game a little bit. But yeah, look, I definitely agree on a certain things that we said, that if you man mark him out of the game, Lukaku's not going to do any damage. But then
what his job is to distract the other team from everyone else around him.
That's right, especially Chelsea,
like Havertz and everyone else running off his shoulder to be free in going into their half or in their final third.
And I think that's the job that they did, and that's probably the reason what led to the goal as well. And I think you guys will see it the whole match. And Damien, you're right. Like we man marked him. They did the job very well, but it was either Matip or Van Dijk on him the whole match.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, he's versing the best defender. Like, let's be honest, he's versing Van Dijk. He's running at Van Dijk. Fabinho's behind him. Matip's next to Van Dijk. It's a nightmare. It is a nightmare.
How good was Fabinho at the set of defensive men? How good is he?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. And we know this. We know this already. But look, the way I look at it is you both dropped 2 points. So I'm taking that.
That's it. You got to win your home games, yeah, boys. You got to win your home games and then try get a result away. Yeah, that's the Sir Alex Ferguson philosophy there. But no, look. To be honest, Chelsea, man, you could have gone any way. I know you guys had.
Hey, in the video pre-match, did I not call 1-1?
I called 1-0 too, brother.
Bought you backed it up as well, man.
Backed it up as well. But it could have went. Look, Liverpool. There was a good chance to win with the 10 men, but we know, like we all know, when a team goes down to 10 men, it makes it even harder to try win the game at times. Yeah,
it ruins the match.
It could go both ways. You could put 5 past them,
FIFA.
Oh, don't mention FIFA. Do not mention FIFA. We've had a bad run. Say that again, Fed. Sorry, mate.
Oh, that's all right. I knew, like, when Salah scored, I knew it was going to end up 1-1 because you guys just said it. It's so frustrating versing 10 men because you got that extra pressure. Okay, we need to win this game. We definitely need to win this game. But like I said, man, I'm always going to go back, Ben, because I was really impressed. That Chelsea team, unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. They look the goods, man. And Tuchel's still running on his massive role. But yeah.
I can't take this chat serious. I got the boys in backstage having a laugh, mate. The boys backstage, they're being clowns, yeah. But boys, look.
Maybe security. Hey, maybe we should get security to kick him out.
Yeah, we should. But look, boys, I'll get you back in after the Man United talk. You can have your say on that as well, and then we'll speak about the best transfer that's ever happened in the Premier League for the second time. But we will be joined once again with the boys. There we are. The PA system boys are back in town. I can't keep a straight face with you two in backstage.
It's taking me back to the stadium. I love it. It's been a long time.
I'm surprised Freddy didn't start calling out the team there. Almost number 1, Alisson Becker. Number 2. But boys, we're here to speak about our team, yeah, Manchester United. Another 3 points in the bag. We made it a bit difficult for ourselves, or should I say, Wolves made it difficult for us. Very, very poor game. I think it's one to forget. It's not one that we'll be watching back. But where do you want to start, guys? We did get the 3 points. We saw Varane start. Sancho got his first start for the club as well. Rami, talk to me. We did win 1-0, but it wasn't the way.
Yeah.
What is missing, man? What's missing in this team? Besides that,
the first thing I can read everyone's mind here. We need a defensive mid. Number one. Let's just say that. Let's get out of the way. We need a defensive mid. You got these world-class players, and you have Fred playing in defensive mid. We lost Pogba's value because he had to play deeper, which hurt us massively. The whole team just seemed frustrated. The back line was really solid. This is the best back line we've had in a long time. Varane looks amazing. He looks such a world-class player. But we got away with it, man. We got lucky. Obviously, if it wasn't for Wan-Bissaka pulling off a miracle save and De Gea pulling off a miracle save, we're walking away with a loss here or a draw. So thank God for them. It's a bit sad to see that, Sancho's started the game in a very weird manner. He started where the whole midfield and attack was down at United. Everyone was underperforming. So then, hence, he had a bad start for us. He did nothing for us. He didn't offer much. But I know he's going to offer us a lot this season. The problem was obviously everyone around him. So, for me, Greenwood was the standout attacking player for us, and he grabbed the goal. And when Cavani came on, it added a sense of fear to Wolves, I feel like, which was nice. Cavani's presence is something else. But look, overall, man, it wasn't a good performance. Thank God we got the 3 points. Obviously, the stadium's buzzing because the big man's back, big Ronaldo. But hats off to Wolves, man. They looked the goods. Adama Traore caused our team absolute nightmare. And
I thought he was overrated last week.
And deal with.
For last week, he was overrated. Last week, he was overrated.
Oh, he's overrated. He's overrated. Absolutely.
He caused problems. He's
very inconsistent. He looks like an NFL player. But for me, it's like, you know what? If one every 5 games he plays good, and this was the match, we copped it. Yeah, next week he'll have a shit game. You'll see it. But look, overall, we got the 3 points. Very happy. De Gea's had a brilliant start. Man of the match for me.
My keeper. David De Gea, my keeper.
Your keeper. But look, overall, man, very, very happy we got the 3 points. That's all that matters. But, defensive mid must happen, man. Must happen.
Should have took Ruben Neves on the bus back.
Or give Donny a try. Whatever it is.
Yeah, Kev, talk to me, Kev. You ain't happy in the group chat last night, man.
When am I ever happy?
Right now.
I gotta say, I agree with pretty much everything Rami said. The frustrating part was, you look at that game, you look at the people that were available to play for us. Sometimes not that I questioned the lineup, but I was like, Daniel James starting, like why? Push Pogba if you can a little bit wider if you need to, or start with Cavani up front. And then play Donny van de Beek, right? So, play the guy. If you really want to do 2 holding mids. I don't know. Not to question Ollie's tactics, but there's a lot of tweaking. I just don't think Daniel James is that player. If you're looking at Traore and what he did to us, Daniel James doesn't do that, right?
I don't think we're going to say that much though. I just think maybe the first 3 games of the season, the fitness levels are not there. I mean, of course, we would have loved Cavani to come on and start straight away. You know what I mean? But I don't think the fitness levels are there.
Start Martial and then bring on Cavani. You know what I mean? Look, at the end of the day,
Kev, the problem was Daniel James wasn't even our worst player attacking wise.
No, but I get it, but I don't think it was a matter of he was the worst attacking wise. I just don't think when you give him the ball, everyone shits their pants. They don't. You give the ball to Daniel James, and one-on-one you can probably take him other than speed, but he doesn't have strength on the ball, and he's not that guy that scares you. He's just that guy that's got really good pace.
Yeah.
And even when he has the ball and he runs with it, he doesn't run with it confidently. You can get that ball off him.
Yeah.
So I just think Wolves sort of knew, and then when Wolves got on top of us very early on, it just looked like we were playing catch-up, and Fred's getting pushed out of the way, and all of a sudden we're making all these challenges, and mate, we said David De Gea, but Wan-Bissaka off the line, you know what I mean? Like, De Gea was beaten,
absolutely.
Wan-Bissaka off the line, and all of a sudden, you know, Wolves look like the more dominant team, and it was frustrating. Then we get into arguments with referees. Bruno picks up a yellow for talking back.
Yeah, Bruno's frustration these past 2 weeks, the yellow cards he got were all from this, and he needs to drop that a bit. Because this whole frustrating, the whole hands up in the air, I'm going to complain and whinge, it needs to kind of go. Obviously, he's got a passion for the game. Clearly.
Ronaldo's going to do that, though. We're going to be ready for that.
Yeah, but refs must have Ronaldo, so don't worry.
Yeah, Seb,
he can do what he wants.
Seb, what do you think about the game?
Yeah,
very lucky to get that result.
Good points, lucky, 100% lucky. Yeah. And Adama Traore did cause problems. And, you know, I wasn't, from what I watched, like Varane wasn't so crazy for me this game, but he did enough. We kept the clean sheet, but you know, Wan-Bissaka, big part of that. De Gea, the biggest part of that. You know, you hate to see Daniel James and Fred starting. Fred had a shocker for me. He's bad passing, silly touches. And now that we've got Ronaldo, look, at the level at United isn't what it was 4 years ago. For me, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, Fred walks into the team, but he's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Once we have our full starting lineup. So yeah, look, I see EM. I'd love to get one. I don't think it's going to happen this window. I did, like last week, I said there's going to be no more transfers. Then we got Ronaldo. You never know. But Greenwood. I want to talk about Greenwood. So we got, you know, this kind of game we've lost and we've drawn so many times as Manchester United. And up steps this teenager. You know, takes the game by the scruff of the neck with a trademark Greenwood finish. There's no angle, low-driven shots. The keepers can't deal with it. It's incredible. And it gets to a point, I remember back in the day watching Thierry Henry, and he's running up on goal, and you know what he's going to do? He's going to open his body, slide it far post, and the keepers couldn't stop it. Greenwood's got his own version of that with a hard shot across the goal, and it's causing everyone dramas. And he did that with Pogba on the field, with Bruno on the field, with Cavani on the field, all these players, and he was the one to do it. Man, that excites the shit out of me. You know,
and he almost scored just before half time. I think just went wide.
Yeah,
that was a great shot too.
It's the same kind of shot. Yeah, bro, very, very close. And
you know what, Seb? To that point, the way he runs at defenders is scary. When he picks up that pace, it's like, oh, here we go. It's on. 2 feet. It is on.
Tell me, 2 feet. But tell me this. Daniel James is quicker than this bloke. Why can't he run at a defender and cause the same havoc? I'm not saying even at goal, but he should be more dangerous with his specific attributes. He's like a FIFA. He's a FIFA stat. Like you'd love him on FIFA because he's so quick.
Yeah, you know why, Seb? But as you touched on before, or I think Kev mentioned that it's because it's the confidence. Yeah, Greenwood picks up the ball like I'm gonna kill you. I'm about to ruin your life. Daniel James doesn't have that persona about him, and that's the difference. Yeah. But to Daniel James' defense, he did cause a slight bit of trouble for the back line. He put a few balls across the goal mouth. No one else really did that for us, to be honest with you. So
he's not the finished product. He's not the finished product.
I'm not a Daniel James fan. I'm not a Daniel James fan at all. But I think it's a bit harsh for United fans to focus on Daniel James's game. That's all.
I think so too. And you know, we didn't sign to be the superstar even now from when he signed. So I don't see what the big pressure is on. Wow, we should sell Daniel James. No, don't sell him. Like, what was he going to come and score 30 goals in the first 2 seasons? No. Never. I know he's not as good as what we're hoping, but I still think he can get there, and he does cause some damage. He's going to get better.
See, my problem with Daniel James is, does he start ahead of, Lingard? Doesn't start. But this is what I mean. And you have Lingard.
Yeah, but do you want to start players or put players on that may be looking to be on their way out? Why not just give a...
Is that in regards to Lingard?
Lingard and maybe some of the other players. I don't know who. Like if they're looking to.
Daniel James is rumored to go. He's rumored in a swap deal for Basuma.
I don't think so. I don't think it will happen. But
I don't feel like it. I don't think we'll sell him. I don't think we'll sell him anytime soon.
Yeah, but like I understand. About the whole argument.
Rumor, lads.
Yeah, I understand the whole thing on Danny James, but like, do we play players that are going to be here or? I know Lingard came on last week, which was a bit questionable. Why are you going to put someone else on if they're looking to leave? If they're looking to keep him, then fair enough. But I don't see.
You play to get the result, Butch. You play to get the result. I don't really care if he's here next week.
Yeah,
or not.
I get what you mean.
Score a hat trick on your last game and go.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But like at the same time,
well, boys, quickly, and I'll throw this question over to you, Borche. Obviously, it's going to take time. It was a bad game in general, but what are your thoughts with Sancho and how he's going to fit into this squad? Like, how's he? Obviously, we know his football in Borussia Dortmund was magic. How is he going to fit in with the squad and link up? And when's he going to start really taking effect in the Premier League?
Well, bro, this is his first start. You know, he came on at halftime, after halftime last week, where Southampton made it really hard for United. In the first game, he got 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Bro, no one was good this game. You can't tell me that Pogba did anything more than what Sancho was doing. You can't tell me even Greenwood, besides the goal, Greenwood wasn't doing much. He had that first shot in the first half, but I don't think he was. We've seen him. Even Bob's in the group chat. He spotted it. Where why is he coming too deep? Is he playing number 9? Stay the 9. Let us feed you the balls. He almost came all the way back at times. We had Bruno almost playing as the 9. So I think there will be times where he does link up with players, and that chemistry is going to build over time. I just don't think this game, we've got to look at Wolves as well. Wolves made it so hard for United to do anything. They were so compact
why are
in the back.
teams like Southampton and Wolves making it hard for us? We should be blowing these teams out of the water.
Yeah, but we should.
You know what it is?
They're gonna,
those stubborn teams, I think they can be broken down better by a team like City, who move the ball in that way and have the ball a lot. Whereas we move the ball so quickly and so forward that it's hard to keep to pull those.
No, I disagree.
Together.
I think we didn't move the ball quick enough, especially in this game.
There
was no one.
We didn't, but
but that's one of the things.
I
like,
agree.
City moved the ball and they'll starve you from possession, but this game, especially slow on the ball, of course Bruno and all that going to have the shits because there's no movement. There's no movement around them. And
Did you notice moments in the game where all you'd see was Maguire to Shaw to Varane to Wan-Bissaka, back to Maguire?
Because there was no movement.
And the way Wolves just screened us and their forward players were just pressing, it was like we got no one there. Yep, back to the defender. Yep, back to the defender. And it was
that's right.
Frustrating.
And even like with the whole Sancho point where Sancho will get the ball. There was you know what? There was a few moments where he took on players and where he looked a bit lively, looked a little bit dangerous. Nothing too special. But I just think the way Wolves were set up just sucked the life out of us. And and to top it off, I know Kev was saying about the whole whinging sort of thing with Bruno and all these players. I think the referee was very very harsh on us. Some of the fouls
he changed his tune at the 80th minute. He then started working in our favor.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like I just felt like I'm surprised they didn't look at the goal and go, Pogba studs up and all that, and they disallowed the goal because the way that was going, they were getting every single free kick. There was one where the challenge Greenwood on the sideline, the one on Bruno, one on Pogba. Even though I think it was a little bit soft on Pogba, the one on Pogba was actually given us the one that was pretty soft. So it's like the referee, in my opinion, wasn't consistent. It does get on your nerves. And then when you're not winning and you're not creating enough, of course, players like Bruno are going to have the shits and get the cards and all that. But look, we have to mention David De Gea here, yeah? Like I think we mentioned at the start as well. 2 fantastic saves. One last week with the 1-on-1 chance last week against Southampton, and I think he saved us again in this game. A double save on the floor. Great, man. Like this is the David De Gea that we
how the hell did his mind think to go to the left in that moment?
He's the best kid. He's the best at reacting, but still coming out to, like, I think for me it was close enough for him to come out and challenge for that ball. I don't think it should have been Varane there challenging. I think them situation 6-yard box, David De Gea should be taking control, commanding the 6-yard box.
We know he's lacked that in the past, but
that's the thing.
This is when it comes to that close combat.
That's right, but this is where I think it's between him and Henderson who starts because of that. We've got so many goals because he's been so weak coming out. But I think in that situation he could have. But fantastic save by David De Gea. We got rid of it.
And also, look, you have to kind of feel sad for Wolves at the same time. I know as United fans, we can't feel sad for him this game. But you look at him, and they haven't picked up a result, but they're playing brilliant football week in, week out. And the manager said at the end, the manager's like, I'm very pleased with the results. It's just frustrating that we're not getting the goal and the points. But there's one question I wanted to actually quickly throw over before you wrap this up, Butch. And I want to ask you boys, I'll probably throw it to you first, Kev. What were your thoughts around the whole United committed? We had Bruno Fernandes that was down injured, and then Wolves were attacking, and then they kicked the ball out because we were complaining. And then Pogba tackled a player. Their player was down, and then we went forward and scored, and Wolves player whinging and all that. Firstly, should Wolves have kicked the ball out? Yes or no? And if so, was it unfair what United did?
All right, so I'm going to try and keep it as short as I can. Wolves didn't need to kick the ball out. Thank you that they did, because obviously there was an injury and whatnot. But I think the play had slowed down enough where there was nothing happening for them to kick it out. I think there was a difference between that and what was happening with us, where we were pushing and the momentum of the way we were moving the ball didn't stop. So I think the difference in the two is that Wolves were still moving forward and then realized there's nothing really happening here. We're going to pop it out. Whereas United, it was challenge, ball, Greenwood, goal. And it was just like it was in one motion sort of thing. So had United got the ball and not found Greenwood in that position, Greenwood would have probably, if it was 1-on-1 or two, there was two defenders on him, he would have turned around and popped it out. So I think you can't really compare the two in that sense. But VAR looked at it, man. Well, what else can you do? VAR looked at it and decided that it wasn't, a foul. And the reverse happened to us last week when Southampton scored against us and Bruno went down. They didn't stop the game. They didn't reverse the goal. So I think you win some, you lose some here or there. But the young fella comes through and scores a goal.
Yeah, look, Ferguson. I remember Ferguson.
You answered that perfectly. That's exactly my answer. Exactly. Before
the season started, when Fergie was here, he will send every single manager a letter saying we are not kicking the ball out unless it's a head injury. And I think they're the rules.
And that's what it should be. It should only be head injuries. That's all it should be.
That's what the law is.
The thing is, the referee
the
referees can stop the game if it's a head injury. The ref doesn't have to stop it if someone gets injured, or leg injury or whatever. But then it's the whole FIFA fair play about whether you kick the ball out or not. But Kev put it right there. I think the momentum was completely different.
It's not owed. I'm with Kev. Like I would have, it's the referee's discretion. If it's a head injury, you stop. The game gets stopped. If it's not, play on. If there's something there, you take it. Let VAR deal with it.
It was very silly that Wolves kicked it out for us. I think so, personally. They were attacking in our goals and they kicked it out. They shouldn't have.
Yeah,
that's their loss.
But they gave into pressure, and that's another thing that teams have in them is keeping your head in the game. There's a game to be won here. Play the ref's whistle. That's the rules.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, boys, we got the victory. That puts us on 7 points. So going into the international break, it was good to get a victory there. I'll get Ferdy on now. I think Damien has gone. Ferdy will join us here. Let me see if I can change this up a bit. There we go. Boys, that kind of wraps up the rest of the week. But one thing I want to talk about is the main man is back in the Premier League. Cristiano Ronaldo, just before the podcast, boys, he's completed his medical like he needed to do one. Yeah, I don't think.
Imagine he failed the medical.
But do you know what I mean? But boys, for the people watching me and Kev, we've already done a video on that literally as soon as that happened. So if you want to get my opinion, especially go across there. But I'll go to Rami, Seba, Ferdi as a rival fan, and I know someone that you also like Ronaldo as well. Kev, have your say as well, boys. The king is back.
He's not just back; he's back home.
That's what matters, bro. That's what matters. And look, man, for me, I've already said it. It wasn't.
Well, before you go, Rami, before you start, sorry, Rami. I ate my snakes. Yeah, I ate my snakes. I finished them.
I'm glad you did.
Just in time. Just in time, because when you're rumored to get a city, when you're rumored to get a city, and you're gonna end up there, yeah, you're definitely a slave. Carry on, Rami.
If he went to
my best friend, he's my best friend now.
His legacy would have been so shit to me. His legacy would have, all respect would have been lost. So I agree with you there. If he went to City, but for me, it's two things. Yeah, he's back home. Thank God for that. Our best talent we've ever had. I think, obviously, not career. We've had players like Giggs and Scholes that have been there for a lifetime. But best player we've had ever, Ronaldo. And for me, it's two things. Yeah, he's back home and he's not at Man City. Him not going to Man City was just as big as him coming to Man United, to me. Because if he went to Man City, God bless us all, man. I don't know what I would have done. I don't know if I would have looked at him the same. I don't know what
had to delete the channel.
He's obituary already.
But look, I can speak on behalf of all football fans. Let's be honest. The Premier League would open arms, welcome Ronaldo back into the league. Let's be honest. You're watching Ronaldo in the Premier League.
The league wins. The league
Talk
wins.
to me,
the league
Seb.
wins, absolutely.
Talk to me, Seb. Yeah, go on. Tell me what you think. Ronaldo's back. Give me your thoughts.
Ronaldo's back, man. I'm super excited that he's back in the Premier League. And just first things first, bro. I think everyone here, and I think Kev knows this as well, he was never going to City. It was just a great move by his manager to put those rumours out, to get you guys off your asses, to get your owners off your asses, to basically sign this player.
Thank God to Sir Alex Ferguson and Ferdinand. That's all I'm going to say, bro.
Yeah. But
and a bit of Bruno.
Back, man, like, there's so many opinions going about Ronaldo's back at United, Ronaldo's back in the Premier League. Is he going to be able to do what he did before? And I say absolutely, because this guy is a true athlete, man. You know, I'm a huge fan of Ronaldo in general. He's an absolute true athlete. You say he did the medical, man. His medical is probably a 19-year-old. His body's like a 19-year-old. Like, he does everything he can to keep
They
fit.
checked if he's old enough.
Check if he's old enough. But this just goes back, and I've always said it, Ronaldo over Messi, this just goes back, man, at the age of 37, he didn't have to come back to United. He can go anywhere in the world, get paid probably triple what you guys are paying him, but he's come back to the Premier League. He's come back for more of a challenge, and I think he's going to be 20-plus this year. I don't care what anyone says. I reckon he'll score 20-plus this year.
Seba.
Ooh, big call.
Seba, what's your thoughts?
Man, I didn't know how much I wanted him back until he was, our player again. Straight up. You know, my girlfriend would ask me throughout the years, do you ever think he'll come back? And I thought, no, like, he's done too much, and I think he's happy to leave it as is, especially in the state that we're in, But it's so right. This career will go down as the greatest football career ever, I think. Like, it's just the perfect bookend, It's the perfect bookend. And if he comes and achieves big things for us, then the discussion's over. We know who the best ever is.
Yeah, but it's not going to end at United. It's not like he's going to be paying his 50s.
But I'm talking about maybe, let's say, top 5 leagues, because Messi went to France. But I'm lamenting Messi not going to City, because imagine that next Man City, like Manchester derby. Imagine that. But it just shows the ambitions of the two players are on different levels.
When he plays
and Ronaldo,
50,
we welcome him back with open arms, man. I reckon there'll be some tears in the crowd for his first game, and rightfully so.
How
definitely Definitely at home here. But
a roller coaster of emotion.
But Ferdy might be right, bro. In 2040, Ronaldo, maybe Ferdy, you can announce him. Number 7, Cristiano Ronaldo.
He can go anywhere in the world and get paid triple what you guys are paying there. But I reckon his mid-40s will go to LA Galaxy or it's Qatar, like you were saying before, and he'll get paid out that money.
Yeah.
But that guy will be playing in his 50s, bro.
The guy's a physical specimen, bro. He'll keep going, bro. He'll just keep going.
Kev, how happy are you, mate? Because you were about to, we're about to buy you a slab at Rookwood over there soon. Before
I'd announce my death, but yeah. If you watch back the video that we did on Friday night or Saturday morning, whatever you want to call it, it was an emotional day. It was an emotional 24 hours. But, the boy's coming home. I'm trying to work out how to get to Old Trafford so I can watch him, hopefully in March or April, early next year, if, we're all jabbed up and ready to go. So it's just really, really, really exciting. Like, right now, the only thing I'm waiting for is the announcement of his number, whether it's going to be 7, whether it's going to be 28, just so 7.
I think it will be 7, I actually think it will be 7.
I reckon they'll get an exemption. They'll make it happen. Yeah. Cavani's happy to do it too. I think he's happy to be playing with Ronaldo anyway. So,
are you happy, Borch? Is he forgiven?
Is Sancho giving it though? Is he getting the 7? Because otherwise, it's not. Now look, we're with the number. I don't know.
Sancho has to wait another year.
Another year, that's fine. I don't think he minds.
Maybe another 10.
But, Sancho's long term anyway. So that's
I don't know if the Premier League, with the whole regulations about changing numbers, especially with Cavani actually playing a first game for us, I'm not too sure.
Really? He played.
Cavani played last night,
but I actually think that they are going to make the exemption for him.
Yeah,
I read.
Do you know why? Because
I've got subliminal messages behind me, man. I'm saying 77. The best is going to wear number 77.
You could be, bro. Could be. You probably know something that we don't, bro. That you can't officially break it to everyone, but maybe.
Hold on 1 second, live.
Fabrizio Romano.
Hang on. Can we quickly discuss that FIFA Pro Club session the night that he signed for us? Because what an emotional roller coaster that was.
Bro,
we were talking, updating each other. We're like, his boys, we think it's happening in Man City.
Rams,
Hold on a second, they pulled out.
Rams,
wait a second.
Just to touch on that. So Fairfield FC that slapped us 5-1 or 6-1. Don't get too excited.
This is the excuse.
Don't get too excited because we got slapped up 6-1 the next game again. Yeah. I think the Ronaldo deal is our heads were gone.
Cost us a fucking title.
How many times did you guys have to say to me, "Hey, Borche, you still there? You still there?" Oh shit! Get the controller back because I was looking at the tweets, getting ready for the tweets. Absolutely.
Well, I just have visuals of Damo like this every 2 seconds. Hang on.
Jamie
It
Carragher.
was ridiculous.
Jamie Carragher with the eye emojis, but I died.
Hang on.
Hang on a minute, Gary Neville. Boys, it was what a night, and I know me and Kev definitely couldn't sleep straight away. We jumped on the pod. So yeah, guys, make sure with bits and bobs, make sure you go back and watch that one. But boys, that is another Premier League. I know we had a few other games, but who gives a fuck about them? Because Ronaldo is back and they're not the main topic now. Yeah, Newcastle can get their segment next week or next Premier League. We'll give it to Newcastle.
It's worth the wait.
It's worth the wait for Newcastle to get their segment next time. Yeah, but boys, once again, thanks for joining. Damo as well, that was here as well. Zaya, Arsenal fan that joined us as well today. Thank you for coming on, guys. Look, we'll probably be doing a few more lives with a few more early games that kick off on our Instagram. So make sure you jump on there, yeah, and we'll get you on. And you can have your say pre-match, post-match, halftime, whenever. Also,
even jump on an episode with us here.
That's right. If you guys are keen for some of the big games, we'll love to have you guys on as well. Have your say and come join the panel. But boys, once again, thanks for joining me. And yeah, man, I guess we're all winners this week besides Liverpool. So yeah, we are all winners today. So
Buddy, stay on quickly before we finish. Buddy, stay on for 10 seconds after we finish the podcast.
Hey, bro, we don't pay him enough. Hey, we don't pay him enough. Once the pod's over, he's out. He's out. He's on the big dollars.
Check the group chat. Check what I just wrote in the group chat.
Guys, once again, leave all your comments below. Make sure you like, share, all that good stuff, and smash that subscribe button, guys. Once again, thank you, and we'll see you next time.